Okay, so this is the April 2018 non-calculator section. Let's start with number 1. Okay, according to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? Okay, so we've got two equations, a system of equations, and two variables. So all we really need to do is solve one equation for one variable and plug it into the other equation, and you are good to go. Let's start with the first equation. X plus y equals 21. Let's get my pen here going. Beautiful. Okay, so x plus y equals 21. Let's solve it for y. Y equals 21 minus x. Simple enough. Now we plug that into the second equation. So second equation is x minus 2y equals negative 3. So we'll replace y with 21 minus x. So we'll get x minus 2 times 21 minus x equals negative 3. So x minus 42 plus 2x equals negative 3. So then we combine terms. We'll get 3x, shift the 42 over to the other side, equals 39. So x equals 13. Okay, number 2. Which of the following is the graph of the equation y equals 3x minus 2 in the xy plane? Well, we know a couple things here. We know the y-intercept is this beautiful negative 2. We know the slope is this 3. So let's just see which equation gives us the y-intercept is negative 2 and a slope of 3. Looking at this right now, actually only answer choice B gives us a y-intercept of negative 2. So B is our answer. Okay, cool. Let's go to number 3. Which of the following expressions is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 21? Well, let's see what we've got here. We've got an x squared, 10x, 21. Well, we know our c value, that last constant, is 21. So basically, when we distribute out the answer choices, we need to get 21 at the end. So let's start with a. If we distribute a out, we'll get x squared plus 9x plus x, that's plus 10x, plus 9 plus 12 is 21. Boom, a is good. We don't have to check any of the other answers. Number 4. In the xy plane, point A is contained in the graph of the solution set of the system of inequalities above. Which of the following could be the coordinates of point A? Well, let's see. Basically, whichever point we pick needs to work for both of these inequalities. So let's plug them in and see which one works for both of them. Let's start with A. So if we start with A, 2, 1, let's plug them in. 1 has to be greater than or equal to negative 2 times 2 plus 11. So 1 has to be greater than negative 4 plus 11. Is this true? It appears not to be true because 1 is not greater than 7. So A is out. Let's try out B. 4, 1. So 1 has to be greater than or equal to negative 2 times 4 plus 11. So is 1 greater than or equal to 3? Nope. Dunzo, gone. Let's try out answer choice C. 5 has to be greater than or equal to negative 2 times 4 plus 11. Well, this is true because 5 is bigger than 3. Perfect. Now, will it work for the second equation? Let's find out. So 5 has to be greater than 3 times 4 minus 9. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. Minus 9 is 3. 5 is bigger than 3. So C works. C is our answer. Cool. Let's go to number 5. Next, in the xy plane, line L passes through point 0, 1, 1, 4. To the following is an equation of line L. Okay, well, let's see. A few ways we can do this. One way is we could do point slope form, which is, so for that we need to know the point slope form equation. which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then plug it in. So for y, so we're only going to plug in for y1 and for x1, because remember, an equation of a line has a y and an x in it, so we're not going to put any numbers in for those. But we also need the value of our slope, m. So let's calculate m. M is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so which is equal to 4 minus 1 over 1 minus 0. So our slope is going to be 3. So if we plug, then let's plug in the first point, just because I think that 0, 1 is an easier point to plug in. So if we plug in the first point into our point slope form equation, y minus 1 equals 3 times x minus 0. Distribute it out, y minus 1 equals 3x, so y equals 3x plus 1, because we're going to move the 1 over to the other side. So C is our answer. Number 6. What value of x satisfies the equation above? Okay, so what I would do here is let's move the 2 square root of x plus 1 over to the other side. So if we do that, we'll get square root of x plus 28 equals 2 square root of x plus 1. Let's square both sides. And remember, we got to square everything on both sides, right? So on the left side, we'll just get x plus 28 equals, so we got to square the 2 also, so it equals 4 times x plus 1. Distribute at the right side. X plus 28 should equal 4x plus 4. Combine like terms. So we'll get 24 equals 3x, and x will equal 8. Cool. Number 7, in triangle ABC above, side AC is extended to point D. What is the value of y minus x? Okay, well, let's start with this. In order to get the value of y minus x, we need to know what is y and what is x. Can we figure any of those out? Well, we've got a triangle here, right? ABC. And a triangle's angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So since we've got 105 and 35, x has to equal 40. Now, x plus y are on a line, which means they have to also add up to 180, which means the y has to equal 140. Y minus x is 140 minus 40, which is 100. Cool. Not so bad right now, right? So far, so good. Number 8, in the xy plane, the point 26 lies in the graph of y equals k of x, where k is a constant, which of the following points must also lie on the graph. Okay, well, we know k is a constant, but we don't know what it is, so we need to figure out what it is. So let's just start by plugging in the point they gave us, 2, 6. So 6 equals k over 2, which means that k equals 12. Well, if we know that k equals 12, okay, all we got to do now is see, when k equals 12, which of the following points will make a true equation, an equation that holds true. Let's start with A, 1, 3. So the question is 3 equal to 12 over 1? Nope, no bueno. Answer choice B. Is 4 equal to 12 over 1? Nope. C. Is 3 equal to 12 over 3? Nope. D. Is 4 equal to 12 over 3? So 12, not a 22. And yes, D works. D is our answer. Dunzo. Whoops. Okay. Number 9. Beautiful formula. The formula above uses estimate the ideal quantity Q of items and storage, blah, 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 which of the following correctly expresses the storage cost per item in terms of other variables. All right, they made this look really complicated and really confusing. All that they're asking you to do is solve for one of the variables. That's it. So the variable we're looking for is h. So we're going to isolate h. First thing we'll do is we will square both sides. If we square both sides, we'll get q squared equals 2dk over h. I don't like equations, so let's get rid of the equation. We can do that by multiplying each side by h. Q squared h equals 2dk, And now we just gotta solve for h, divide both sides by q. So h equals 2dk over q squared. And that is answer choice C. Number 10, the equation above. C is a constant. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, what is the value of C? Oh my. Well, here's the deal. If the equation above has infinitely many solutions, it means that both sides of the equation have to be equal. So let's try doing some stuff. What can we do here? Well, looking at it, looks like my guess would be basically to distribute out the negative 2x with the c plus 1. Just because literally I don't see anything else that we could do in this question. So let's do it. So if we rewrite this doing that, we'll get 8x minus 2xc minus 2x equals x. Okay, let's see what we can do next. Maybe we can combine some like terms. So let's bring the x over to the left side. So we'll get 8x minus 2x minus x. So we'll get, if we do that, we'll get 5x minus 2xc equals 0. So the question now is, how do we make it so that the left side is equal to 0? What value of c will let the left side be 0? So basically, the only value that will do that will be answer choice B. Because 5x minus 2x times 5 over 2, let's see if this works, equals 0. We'll get 5x minus 10x over 2, which is 5x minus 5x, which is equal to 0. Boom, donezo. Okay, let's do number 11. In 1962, the population of a bird species was 2,000. The population K years after 1962 is 48. K satisfies the equation above. Which of the following is the best interpretation? The number 61 is context. 61 is a number that's next to the K. It's next to the variable. So that is the slope. All that a slope is an average rate of change. So we need to look at an answer choice that talks about average rate of change. A does not do that, B does not do that, C does not do that, D, the average decrease in the population, perfect, donezo. Number 12, the graph of the function f is shown in the xy plane above where y equals f of x, which of the following functions could define f. So what we can do here is look at the zeros of the function. In other words, where in the graph is y equal to 0? Well, it's at x equals negative 3, x equals negative 1, and x equals 2. So those zeros are only answer choices D and C, so A and B are donezo. And now, to figure out which one it should be, easy solution. Just pick another point on the graph. Here's a pretty good point. 1, and then it looks like 16-ish. Just like right around here. So plug them in. Plug that point in for C and D. If we plug it in for C, we're going to get x plus 3 is 4. X plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Squared is 1. And this will be 16. So C works. Let's see what happens with D. X plus 3 is 4. Squared is 16. 16. X plus 1 is 2. And then times negative 1 will give us a completely off answer. So we know our answer has to be C. Number 13, which of the following could be the x-coordinate of the solution to the system of equations above? Okay, well again, two equations, two variables, right? So let's plug y into the equation above. So we've got x plus 2 squared. I'm going to distribute everything as much what I can now. Well, no, I'll just plug it in first and do the distribution afterwards. So we've got x plus 2 squared plus, if we plug in negative 2x plus 4 for y, we're going to get, let's see, negative 2x plus 4 minus 3, so negative 2x plus 1 squared equals 40. So 40. Let me make that clear. Equals 40. Clear enough. So then let's distribute out the stuff that we got here. I'm going to make a 1 over here. So x plus 2 squared is x plus 2 times x plus 2. Plus negative 2x plus 1 times negative 2x plus 1. And this all has to equal 40. So, let's see. Let me erase some of the stuff on the bottom, actually, because otherwise it'll be too difficult for us to follow this along. Great. Okay. So, so now we're going to FOIL out the x plus 2 and x plus 2. That's going to give us x squared plus 4x plus 4. Then we're going to FOIL out the negative 2x plus 1 times negative 2x plus 1. So plus negative 2x times 2x, negative 2x is 4x squared. And then minus 2x is minus 4x. And then plus 1. And this part's going to be all in parentheses. Equals 40. So then we've got, let's see, so x squared plus 4x squared is 5x squared. 4x minus 4x is 0. 4 plus 1 is 5 equals 40. So 5x squared equals, we subtract 5, so it equals 35. X squared equals 7. So x equals plus or minus the square root of 7. Sorry, that might be written a little unclear. But x equals plus or minus the square root of 7, which is answer choice A. Number 14, the equation above can be used to model the populations in thousands of a certain city T years after 2000. According to the model, the population is predicted to increase by 0.5% every n months. What is the value of n? Okay, 0.5% every n months. Well, this 0.5% seems is in the equation already. Okay, so basically, in this equation, when t, which is years, is equal to 3, the 215 will increase by 0.5%. That's because when the exponent is equal to 1, it's the same thing as saying 215 times 1.005. So as a result, we know that t has to equal 3. Because when t equals 3, that makes the exponent 1. But if t is the number of years and t equals 3, well, how many months are in 3 years? 12 months in 1 year, so that means there are 36 months in 3 years. So therefore, n has to equal 36. D. 15. Which of the following is an equivalent form of the expression 2x minus 2 squared minus 2x minus 2? Okay, so this looks pretty similar to what we did before, right? Where we were foiling out stuff. So let's FOIL this out. So we got 2x minus 2 times 2x minus 2 minus 2x plus 2. So we got 4x squared minus 4x minus 4x minus 8x plus 4 minus 2x plus 2. So we got 4x squared minus 10x plus 6. This is what we're looking for. 4x squared minus 10x plus 6. So A and B are clearly out. Let's see. Now, okay, so at this point we know the answer has to be D. Because we know that our C term, our last term, has to be 6. C will give us a last term of 4 because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. But D will give us 6 because negative 3 times negative 2 is 6. So D is our answer. Okay, so at this point we're on the griddens. Number 16 in the equation above. What is the value of S when t equals negative 1? So, let's just plug in negative 1 for t. 2s minus 1 equals 11. 2s equals 12. So S equals 6. Boom. Number 17. What is one possible solution to the equation above? Okay, so this is a quadratic. So let's FOIL out the x minus 1. Remember, this is going to be x minus 1 times x minus 1 equals 3x minus 5. So x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 3x minus 5. Combine like terms. X squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Now we can factor this bad boy out. X minus 2 times x minus 3 equals 0. So x equals 2 and x equals 3. Either one works. Number 18. In the complex number system, what is the value of the expression 16i to the fourth minus 8i squared plus 4? So biggest thing we got to remember is just the pattern of i's. I to the first power is I squared is -1, I to the third is -I to the fourth is 1. So 16i to the fourth is going to be 16 times 1 minus 8 times -1 plus 4. So it's 16 plus 8 plus 4, which is 28. Cool. Number 19, the table above shows two pairs of values for the linear function f. The function can be written in the form f of x equals x plus b, where a, b, and constants. What is the value of a plus b? Okay, basically, equation of a line type of problem. Okay, so how do we get a? Well, a is, again, the value next to the x, so a is the slope. So we just got to calculate the slope. So a is the same thing as m, so in the normal math, like terminology. So to get the slope, this will just be changed in y over change in x. So 17 minus 12 over 12 minus 8. 17 minus 12 is 5. 12 minus 8 is 4. So a is 5 over 4. B is the y-intercept. So if we can get this in a few ways. One way is to just get to use y equals mx plus b. So we can use either point. So let's use the first one. So 12 equals 5 over 4 times 8 plus b, because b is our y-intercept, our missing value. So 12 equals 5 times 8 divided by 4 is 10 plus b. So b equals 12 minus 10, which is 2. So a plus b is 5 over 4 plus 2. 2 is the same thing as 8 over 4. So our answer is going to be 5 over 4 plus 8 over 4, which is 13 over 4. Let me make that clear. So 13 over 4. And last question, number 20. Segments OA and OB are radii of the semicircle above. Arc AB has a length of 3 pi and OA equals 5. What is the value of x? Okay. So x here is in degrees. AB is length 3 pi. OA is 5. Well, so we need to know what is the formula for arc length. And the formula for arc length is, so the arc length equals n over 360 times 2 pi r. So it's a length of 3 pi. So 3 pi equals n over 360 times, and we know that the OA, which is the radius, is 5. So it's equal to 10 pi. So now all we have to do is solve for n, or in this case, x. And then if we do that, let's see, the pi's are going to be gone. So we have 3 equals basically n times 10 over 360 is the same thing as 3 times equals. So 3 equals n over 36. multiply both sides by 36, and equals, what is 36 times 3? 36 times 3 is 108. So our answer is 108. And that is it. That is the non-calculator section. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.